In the depths of Titan's smoke-stained alleys, beneath the thrum of the tram lines and the electric glow of civic lanterns, a name passed in fearful whispers. The Ashbrand. A figure cloaked in black, face hidden behind scorched steel, his sword always hot, always ready. He moved through the filth and fire of the rustward, through the creaking underchannels of the dock spire, hunting those who preyed upon the weak and walked free by coin or silence. No trial, no mercy. Each week another corpse left to cool in the gutter, a slaver, a corrupt foreman, a gang butcher who laughed at mother's cries. Next to the body, scrawled in soot, remembered. Malrik Tane had once been a boy with calloused hands and a cracked voice, praying outside the bastion gates for justice that never came. He had begged the Titan's guard to investigate, pleaded. His sister's killer had walked past him the next morning, smiling. They found the man burned and broken a week later, his eyes scorched from his skull. The body bore no name, but Malrik's hands bore ash that never quite washed away. He told himself, back then, it was only once. Only for her, but pain is a seed, and vengeance is fertile soil. Now. The alley behind the crooked hook. 2 men dragged a whimpering girl into shadow, guild muscle, drunk and confident, their tabards half-buttoned, blades dulled from misuse. Then came the hiss, like steel across stone, like the whisper of a match. A man stepped from the dark, cloak like oil, sword like a branding iron. "You struck down a child in the Warrens last week," the Ashbrand rasped. "Boasted of it in this very tavern." The first man lunged, was stopped mid-motion by the glowing blade through his gut. The second dropped his weapon, knees shaking. "Please, I have a son." So did she. The screams echoed across the stones. 2 days later, Bastion Hall. Captain Braith Morlin threw the latest reports onto the table. The smell of ink and blood hung thick in the room. 2 more! Burned clean through. Witnesses saw nothing. Again. Truth-bearer Vanessa Rell, called in at the behest of the tribunal, stood silent for a moment before speaking. "He's choosing bigger targets now," she said. "Not just gang thugs or abusers. This last one, Jorek Ven, was a magistrate's cousin, accused of fraud but untried." "Rumors say the girl he hurt took her own life," Morlin muttered. "Still, this is justice by fire and fear." Vanessa's eyes drifted to the window. "He used to leave names behind. Now it's just ash." "Miaptimbe, and there he is." Elsewhere, below the ruined aqueduct. The Ashbrand knelt before a broken altar, half swallowed by moss and rot. He placed a rusted locket on the stones, his sister's. Long empty. "Another one remembered," he said, voice dull, almost bored. "Another name erased." Flames licked the edge of his blade. The heat no longer blistered his hand. It had been years since he'd said Mordrell's name aloud. The god had never answered, not in words. But Malrik didn't need answers anymore, not when the fire sang. A tavern in the Warrens. "They say he saved a girl last week," a barkeep muttered. "They also say he carved a man's eyes out for insulting a mourner," replied a courier. "A slaver in Dockspire vanished," another said. "All that was left was a pile of teeth in a bowl of coals." "Good," someone whispered. "No," said the old woman at the hearth. "It started as good. Now he's just another shadow in the dark, no better than the ones he burns." No one argued, but no one stopped whispering his name either. Somewhere in Titan, a quiet home. A knock at the door. A widow opened it to find a package, a letter with no name and a blackened brooch, the same stolen from her murdered son 2 years before. The letter read, "He screamed. I made sure it was long. Your son is remembered." She wept, not for joy, not for peace, but because part of her was glad, and another part knew it had gone too far. Far from the noise, the Ashbrand stood atop the rooftops of the Mystic Quarter, the glow of the city reflecting in his blade. He had forgotten how many he had killed, forgotten when it had stopped being about justice and started being about the feel of it, the clean finality, the obedience of flame. But he still believed in memory, in pain, in punishment, and so long as there were monsters in the dark, he would be one too.